It was morning at the circus. Hopeful mothers looked up as the storks flew overhead. Each stork carried a tiny bundle that held a baby animal. Miss Jumbo sighed as she watched the happy mothers cuddling their babies. "Oh dear, I hope there would be a bundle for me," she thought. A stork flew into Miss Jumbo's railway and dropped a large bundle. Inside was a baby elephant. Jumbo Jr. is what Miss Jumbo named him. "Look at him," the other elephants said excitedly. "Isn't he darling?" Just then, Miss Jumbo's baby sneezed. "Achoo!" The other elephants gasped and began to giggle. "Ha ha 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 ha! Aren't they funny?" said one elephant. "Dumbo!" said another. Miss Jumbo didn't care what the other elephants thought. She loved her baby. She lifted him up in her trunk and gently rocked him to sleep. Hold on. And here's Dumbo! That night, the circus train stopped and all the animals climbed out. The circus men put up a huge tent. The next morning, the circus parade made its way through the town. The band played. The clowns and animals marched down the street as the people clapped and cheered. "Hooray! Yay!" Crowds hurried to the circus tent that night. They were eager to see all the animals. "Look at his ears! Ha ha ha!" cried one noisy boy, pointing at Dumbo. They were the funniest things he had ever seen. The boys laughed and teased Dumbo. Then one of them pulled the little elephant's ear. Miss Jumbo trumpeted with anger. She raised a hay bale and threw it at the naughty boys, and they ran away in terror. "Down, down!" cried the ringmaster, cracking his whip. Dumbo's mother was taken away and locked in a small cage away from Dumbo. Back in the tent, the other elephants gossiped. "I think she went a bit too far," said one. It's all the fault of," and they pointed to Dumbo, then turned their backs on him. Nearby, a mouse called Timothy was watching. He felt sorry for the little elephant. "All we've got to do is build you an act," Timothy told Dumbo. "Make you a star." Just then, they heard the ringmaster talking in his tent. "Hey, I've got an idea," he was saying. "An enormous pyramid of pachyderms. Now comes the climax." As soon as the ringmaster was asleep, here he is sleeping. Timothy crept into his tent. He scampered up to the ringmaster's ear. "Who's your climax?" "The little Dumbo." "The little elephant with the big ears." "Dumbo." "Dumbo," mumbled the ringmaster. "Dumbo." The next morning, the ringmaster tried out his new idea. He had all the elephants balanced carefully on top of one another, and then Dumbo was to be the very top elephant. But when Dumbo ran to jump on top, oh no, he tripped over his big ears and tumbled them all to the ground. morning, Dumbo and Timothy opened their eyes. They saw a group of crows looking up at them. Dumbo and Timothy were high up on the branch of a tree. "How did they get up there?" wondered the friendly birds. The little elephant was so surprised that he lost his balance, and Dumbo and Timothy tumbled down into a pond far below. "I wonder how we ever got up in that tree," said Timothy, shaking himself dry. "Maybe you flew," joked one of the crows. "Yes, that's it," cried Timothy. "Dumbo, you flew!" The little elephant looked surprised. He really couldn't fly, could he? Timothy told Dumbo, "Just believe in yourself." One crow gave Timothy an ordinary feather and said, "Hold this in your trunk, Dumbo." So he put it in his hat, and before he could change his mind, the crows pushed him off the side, and away he flew. He flew and he flew. All at once, Dumbo was flapping his big ears and flying. "You're flying! You're flying!" That night at the circus, Dumbo stood at the top of the building. He didn't feel frightened. Now that he had the magic feather, he knew he could fly down safely. "Okay," said Timothy, "take off." Just as the elephant leaped into the air, he felt the feather drop, and Dumbo began to fall. "Open those ears! Open those ears! You can fly! You can! You can!" Dumbo took a deep breath and began to flap his ears as fast as he could. He didn't need that feather after all. The ringmaster was amazed as he watched Dumbo swoop over the tub of goo and soar past the cheering crowds. Dumbo was a star. Before long, Dumbo was famous all around. Crowds flocked to the circus. "Dumbo, the flying amazing elephant!" The ringmaster released Dumbo's mother, and Dumbo and his mother were happily ever after all. Yay, the end. You guys clap.